Okay. This one's going to be fun. Because this is Joyeux Noel.
God.
This is one where, let's just say this right up front. This is a film that had two things going for it for me. One, it's a Christmas film. You got to star there. If you do Christmas and you do it right, you got to star there. We are two completely different animals with the lovely J.C. Elliott, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Definitely.
don't really care for her acting style. I do.
No.
But this is one where I think this is a bit of a mixed film. I completely get why this is a mixed film. Joyeux Noel, which that one took me like 45 times listening to the darn title before I learned how to say it, because I didn't learn French in high school. This is all about a copy editor named Lee and pragmatic reporter Mark. Let's try it one more time. Copy editor Leah and pragmatic reporter Mark head to France to learn about a mysterious artist behind a romantic Christmas painting. This one has something going for it that I think the other ones don't. You have France. You have this beautiful town. You have all these beautiful sets. You have everything going for you in this film. I think the cinematography worked, but what it didn't do well is it did not build the chemistry. It didn't build the chemistry. What this film did, I think it was just, we're in France. We're in France. And they gave us a little bit of, I think, French culture with like food and the people in a smaller town in France. You give us a little bit of a look at the Christmas culture over there in France, I think. Now, this is coming from a American point of view. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about France besides Paris. That's it. But the chemistry was not there. However, I think what they did here that really made me like it. I enjoyed JC's performance enough because I think this is better than her first film she did, where we already talked about in a past review, Romance and Style. This one worked because she was actually giving a lot more energy than in the Romance and Style. But was this better than her film last year, My Southern Family Christmas? To me, no. No. I think what this one was missing was the family aspect. I think it was missing the overall magical Christmas feeling. The performance and the setting is not enough to get this to a fantastic film for me. But I enjoyed the story. I did. I enjoyed the story, but then you fall right off the horse with this climax. What you do in this third act is stupid. The overall issue they have here, that was stupid and so poorly done. Brant Daughtry, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to be a nice guy, and it's just not working. It's not working because you wrote this character so much as, I want to help this girl, yes. I want to help her find the truth. If you're going to help her find out the truth, actually tell the truth. Now, have we seen this film done many, many times? Yes. Yes, we have. But the issue here is we haven't seen it done like this before, where the character is so well written up to that point. I think what you should have done is you could have had her find out but not tell him, because he's the reporter. She's just the one editing his articles for him. and she gets to go to France with him because she's the one who has this thing that her boss liked and said, okay, you get to go to France with him. So there could have been a little bit of like a butting heads thing here between them. Hey, I'm the reporter. You're basically my sidekick. She takes over here. And I thought you could have done a lot more with this story, made him a lot more likable, and written him a lot better in this third act. But that third act really kind of ruined the film overall for me. But I don't think this is a great film. But I'm going to lower my score on it. I was at a 3.5. And I'm not going to go a whole lot lower. But I am going to go with a 3 now, a 3 out of 5, which is going to be about a C+ on my scale. Not a great film, but definitely not as good as My Southern Family Christmas. What we get from her next year, I'm hoping we get more. Now, as a fan of J.C. Elliott, I like her, and I get what you mean. What were your thoughts on this film, and did you have the same issues as me?
Well, as you know, as you said, I'm not a J.C. Elliott fan, but I will say she had moments where I could tell she was trying. She was definitely trying. For me, though, it just still was just okay. I mean, I wasn't impressed, still wasn't impressed by her. And with Brant, his character, to me in the beginning, his character was kind of a jerk in the beginning with how he was acting toward her and the other guy that was working with him. So I was worried it was going to be another story this year where we have a jerk character for most of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully they do turn it around and he does become a likable character. Mostly thankfully because of the character that I liked the most in this movie, and that was the little girl that helped run the little inn that they were staying in.
Yes.
I really liked her character. I thought she was really one of the best parts of the movie for me personally, and made me keep wanting to watch it because I thought she did so good in the role. And then with the drama that, like you said, towards the end where he doesn't tell her about the thing. To me, that definitely felt forced. It felt like they just needed to throw some drama in at the end of it to try to make the blow up happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wow, why did you need to do that? You know, I get this is something big for her and everything, but this is one of those circumstances, and I know, like, we've talked about it before, where I don't mind when the drama ends very quickly sometimes in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, this is one where it ended too quickly. It was resolved way too quickly. He told her really fast after the whole, and it's like, why did you keep it from her if you're going to tell her that quickly afterwards? And then the very ending, when they end up realizing that the person who had the boss was the guy that was playing the accordion in the beginning of the dance scenes. I'm like, that's really random and thrown in. Like, why did we have to just randomly pick somebody in the middle of the town and say, oh, that's the guy who had the box. This is him. Let's give it back to him. Let's give him the diary. I'm like, the whole ending just felt so just messy and just thrown together, and just, I don't know, it just did not work for me. The chemistry just wasn't there. The Christmas feel, it was okay. I think they banked a lot on it being in Paris and just having the beautiful cinematography in general, that they pulled back on, like, the Christmas decorations. Now, maybe that's how they decorate in Paris. I don't know. Maybe it's less decorations. But to me, I got an okay Christmas feel from it.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I ended up giving this one a 2.5. Mostly because I like that little girl. I like the little story she had with the elves and how you had to leave the presents outside the door, and stuff.
Trying to help you.
Yeah. And so, that was making me laugh and stuff and kept my attention. And, the cinematography was nice being set in Paris and and everything. So, and gave credit for JC actually trying a little bit, even though it didn't fully work for me. So I think 2.5 was definitely a fair score for it, especially for me, not being a JC Elliott fan.